News at 5:30.
Good evening, I'm Steve Hensley. Jailers across the region call it a persistent issue. Inmates trying to smuggle drugs and contraband behind bars. The Letcher County jailer says he caught 2 inmates trying to pass drugs from cell to cell. The jailer showed WYMT's Taylor Upchurch the security video.
Suspicious of dangerous drugs looming Letcher County jail cells, deputies work hard to combat the drug epidemic.
These people are hooked on drugs, and they'll go to extreme lengths to hide those drugs.
Which is exactly what jail officials say Curtis Anderson and Corey Fraley did, once moved to a visitation room just down the hall.
I could see that one had cupped something in his hand, which appeared to be white in color and round. And the purpose for that, I felt like, was he was going to reach that to somebody or try to do something with it. And sure enough, here come another inmate over, and he took possession of that from that guy. Then he went over and kind of sat on the ledge or the windowsill of the visitation room, and he tried to insert that into his rectum.
A few new cameras were installed not long before this incident.
I was like, Lord, I'm glad to have the cameras.
Now deputies are able to keep better watch. Just like in this incident, they noticed a second bag of what appeared to be meth thrown onto the floor. With enough reason, deputies searched the inmates. Bert Sloan tries to recover all he can, though the task is not always all that pleasant.
Shout out to Wattsburg ARH. They will x-ray those people for us if we think that they have something in their bodies.
Not just keeping drugs out of reach, but keeping inmates alive. In Letcher County, Taylor Upchurch, WYMT Mountain News.
Both Anderson and Fraley now face several additional drug charges along with tampering with evidence. Sloan says the substance found, which appeared to be meth, will be sent to a lab in the coming days. The mother of a child at the center of a Wayne County abuse case is talking to us today. As we reported earlier this week, 2 daycare workers are facing charges after video showed one of them taunting the toddler. Deputies say the worker knew the child had a fear of dolls and small animals, but shook a doll at the 2-year-old anyway. She's facing child abuse charges. The other worker is charged with failing to report child abuse.
Like when she cries, then they, get stuff out and scare her with it. And that's why she is scared of dolls. She has not always been scared of dolls. Just, I guess since she has been there.
The daycare operator told us she stands behind her workers who are not employed while the charges are pending.
And it's starting to look a little bit gloomy out there. We are still dry for now, but that'll change as we head really into the next few hours. You'll notice here as we look at the mountain parkway, you're noticing those mostly cloudy skies and much of the same story as Stonecrest, looking pretty gloomy over there. You'll notice on satellite and radar, though, we have been dry throughout the day, just those clouds increasing. Most of those showers you're seeing popping up, not actually hitting the ground. But as we take a look at the bigger picture, you already see those scattered rain chances starting to move in parts of western Kentucky, and even that first line starting to move into Louisville. That's associated with the low pressure system and cold front that'll be making its way into the mountains as we head into those overnight hours. You'll notice where those cooler temperatures are as well. We're already seeing those upper 60s over into Paducah, but for the rest of us in Kentucky, we're seeing really those low to mid 70s, bringing those temperatures a little bit closer to home. You're seeing maybe those upper 70s over into Prestonsburg and Ashland, 74 Hazard, and 72 into Somerset. You'll notice those temperatures drop a little bit as that front moves in. Actually makes a very comfortable weekend ahead before we see those temperatures skyrocket back into the upper 70s to lower 80s. I'll have that full forecast coming up for you guys in just a little bit. Steve.
All right. Thank you, Paige. Day 1 of the East Kentucky Leadership Conference is underway. Today's events are taking place at the Benham Schoolhouse Inn in Harlan County. Multiple sessions were held focusing on rejuvenating people across the region. WYMT's Connor James has more on Day 1.
Day 1 kicked off bright and early at the Benham Schoolhouse Inn. It was a day filled with focus on the future.
And I think we're bringing a lot to the table. And we certainly have a lot of leaders in Eastern Kentucky.
Kay Hammond, a new board member for the foundation, kicked off her day with the Women in Leadership session, just one of many.
I'm excited about some of the sessions that we have.
Another session focused on looking at the future of our region and what we can do to propel the region forward.
We're getting hopefully those leaders together, and we're going to say, where do we go from here?
Getting together not only the leaders of now, but the future generation. These middle school girls talked about their STEM camp.
Well, I am talking about augmented reality. You could take anything that basically comes to mind, put it on a computer, and then save it and make it.
One of the opportunities that we got was to come here today.
In the hopes that this will build up the region.
Every once in a while, you got to stop and sharpen the sword. This is this part of Kentucky's time to sharpen the sword.
And the people who want to see it thrive. In Harlan County, Connor James, WYMT Mountain News.
We'll have more on the conference coming up at 6, and you can also watch the highlights of tonight's award showcase Monday night at 7 here on WYMT. A Laurel County man is accused of having a booby trap on his front porch. The sheriff's office posted a photo of the device. You can see the board has several knives sticking out of it. The board was hanging above the man's porch. Raymond Jackson told deputies the board was already there when he bought the house and he didn't know how to remove it. Jackson is charged with possession of a booby trap device. A former pediatric doctor at UK Hospital is accused of looking at child pornography while at work. Ryan Keith was arrested yesterday in North Carolina. He was allegedly caught looking at the porn in June of 2017. His residency at the hospital was terminated. The UK Police Department says it got an arrest warrant in the case earlier this month. The red carpet is out and we are counting down to the NFL draft. Everyone is keeping an eye on the top 10 and there are conflicting ideas about where UK's Josh Allen will end up. Let's head down to the Music City where WYMT's Willie Hope is live. Willie?
Welcome back into Nashville. This place has been home for the Kentucky Wildcats and Big Blue Nation for the past couple years. And speaking of home, everybody loves a good homecoming story in sports. LeBron James went back to Cleveland and won them a title after spending 4 years in Miami. UK's will get Dante Allen, who's from Pendleton County. He'll stay in state. And now Josh Allen could make his return home tonight. The New Jersey native has two New York teams sitting in the top 6. The Jets sit at number 3 and the Giants sit at the 6th spot. And both teams play their home games in New Jersey. I had a chance to talk to a couple fans from the Big Apple, and they would love to welcome home the UK star.
Seeing somebody homecoming, that's always somebody you got to root for either way.
Anytime someone gets to come home, you know, it does a lot for the home team. Family is there, the crowd gets larger, family and friends get to see it. People root for the hometown guy.
I miss my home. I bet you he probably misses his too. I hope he comes home because we'd love him home with Big Blue, you know? Nothing more than that.
Now, Jets and Giants fans could get their wish tonight. The Jets sit at number 3. A lot of mock drafts have Allen going to the Jets, but some also have the Jets trading back, which means the Giants could either trade up for Allen or get him at number 6. The reports that the Giants are very fond of Allen's skills and his pass rushing ability. We'll have to wait and see, but regardless, it would make a heck of a homecoming story if Allen ended up in New York. Sending it back to you, Steve, live here from Nashville at the NFL Draft. Willie Hope, WYMT Mountain Sports.
All right, looks like a crazy Nashville down there tonight. Thank you, Willie. Well, you can watch coverage of the first round of the draft on both ESPN and ABC. It begins at 8 p.m. Secretary of State Allison Lundergan Grimes visited elementary schools today to recognize winners of her office's annual voter awareness slogan contest. Ross Point Elementary 8th grader Connor David Blevins won 3rd place for his slogan. Duff Allen Central 6th grader Brock Horn won 2nd place. During her visit to Duff Allen Central, Grimes did an activity to explain voter turnout, stressing the importance for students in Kentucky to use their voices.
We are inspired each and every day by kids just like Brock Horn who are telling adults why they need to participate in this process, why we need to increase the participation, especially in our elections that are occurring coming up in May and in November.
And in case you're wondering, the slogan that won Horn a $600 prize: educate, participate, legislate, make it count, rock the vote. Coming up on Mountain News at 5:30, people in parts of Louisiana are assessing the damage today after a tornado hit one town. We'll show you that damage.
We're seeing those mostly cloudy skies for now, but we'll see those rain chances really increase as we head into those overnight hours. We'll have that full forecast coming up for you guys in just a few short minutes.